Hey guys, what's up? Welcome back to my channel. For today's video, I really wanted to sit down and tell you guys all about my favorite drugstore products. I definitely have a huge variety here of every category except eyeshadow palettes. The eyeshadow palettes I normally use, you guys know, are pretty much all Morphe palettes or like an Anastasia Beverly Hills palette. So I did not feature any eyeshadows in this video just because I don't really have any affordable eyeshadow palettes. I think Morphe is affordable, but not everybody views their price point as affordable, so I figured I'm not even gonna involve them in the video. So we don't have eyeshadow today, but we have everything else. So yeah, I put together all of my favorites in each category, from foundation to concealer to bronzer to setting powder to lashes, all of that stuff. So there is a huge variety here for everybody and everybody's skin type. So if you guys want to see my favorites, make sure you keep on watching. Don't forget to subscribe to my channel, hit the notification bell so you are notified every time I upload, and make sure you check out my social media links. They are here on the page as well as down below in the description bar. Let's jump right into the video, guys. So first, we are going to start with primer. Now, I have 4 options here for you guys. And also, by the way, I did use one of every product for today's makeup. So I did use these products and I will point them out to you. The first primer I have here, this is the Wet n Wild Dewy Photofocus Priming Serum. I really like this. I used this on my face today. It's more of like a water texture and it just seeps right into the skin. And I don't know, there's just something about it. It smells really good. It feels really hydrating on the skin. If you're more of somebody who wants your pores to be filled in, I definitely recommend the e.l.f. Poreless Putty Primer. This is exactly what it says it is. It's a putty that you melt into your fingertips and you put it on those areas where you have very large pores, and it diminishes your pores right away. It is a dupe for the Tatcha Silk Canvas, which is very expensive, and this is like $9 I think, and it's so good. So if you have large pores, I would recommend this for your primer. Next, for people who want a primer oil, I get that, especially having dry skin, so I sometimes use oils here and there, but it's really hard to find a good oil that is good under foundation because, you know, sometimes oils can break up your makeup. I really like this oil right here. This is the e.l.f. Retro Paradise oil. This is their glow oil. It definitely does leave your skin looking really glowy. I will say that. I use this in a dupe video on my channel. What did I use it against? Oh, I think I used it against the Smashbox primer oil, and I really liked both of them. This oil felt really nice on the skin. It didn't feel too heavy or too greasy, and it definitely made my foundation look super glowy. And I think in that video I used a matte foundation actually, because if I'm gonna go in with an oil, I'm gonna use a more matte foundation just because you don't want your face to look too glowy or it can look kind of greasy, you know what I'm saying? So I really like to go in with glow oils if I feel that I want to use a very mattifying foundation just because I have dry skin, but this one is really good. And lastly, for my people who want more of a primer that has a grip to it, this is the e.l.f. Jelly Pop Dew Primer. I'm pretty sure they still sell this. I did see it on Target's website, but I'm not sure if it's sold in store anymore. But this is a dupe for the Milk Makeup Hydro Grip Foundation, or I'm sorry, their primer. This smells like watermelon. First of all, it smells really good, and when you put it on your face, it just leaves a really sticky base to the face, which is gonna adhere your foundation to your face more. So it's gonna allow the makeup to kind of stick a little better. I really like that. I don't go in with it too often, and I don't really go into with the Milk Makeup one as often either, just because they're not my go-to types of primers, the sticky ones, but this one is really good if you do want a cheaper alternative to the Milk Makeup Hydro Grip Primer. Now let's get into foundation. The foundation I'm wearing today on my face, this is the Wet n Wild Photofocus Dewy Foundation. You guys know this is hands down one of my favorite foundations from the drugstore. It's $5.99, and I do have a video up on this already with a full review, so you guys can check out that video if you want to. This leaves such a beautiful glowy finish to the skin. Your skin looks hydrated and plump, and all of these foundations I'm going to show you do that. They all are medium to buildable coverage. They don't make your makeup look cakey. They don't settle into your fine lines. They look really hydrating on the skin. You guys can see it is what I am wearing today, and my skin overall looks really good. It looks healthy, it looks plump, so I really like this. It does have a slight fragrance, but honestly it's really not that bad. It's not as bad as the matte version of this, I will say, and I really do like that this has a spatula. I think you just get more control out of the product that way. This is also really nice coverage. It blends really seamlessly into the skin. It doesn't cling to your dry patches, which is a big must for me. When you have dry skin, you know that a lot of foundations will cling to your dry patches. It is a thing, and fortunately most of these foundations, they do not do that for me. Maybe it's because I go in with like a super moisturizing moisturizer first, and it could be a combination of that along with a hydrating primer, but I really like this one from the drugstore as well. A lot of these products you can get either at a drugstore like Walmart, CVS, Walgreens, or you can go to Ulta on their drugstore side and get them as well. Next we have the Colourpop Pretty Fresh Foundation. This is such a pretty foundation on the skin. The finish, I don't even know how to describe it, but it's so natural, but it's a subtle glow, and it doesn't settle into your fine lines, and it's a really nice coverage. Like I said, these are medium to full coverage, blends really nicely into the skin. I have built this up before and it doesn't look cakey at all the more layers you go in with it. And yeah, I like that this one, the Makeup Revolution one, and this one are also a pump. I like pumps too, but I feel like once you kind of get to the end of the pump or like the end of the bottle, sometimes it becomes really hard to get product out of the pump. But I really like that one too for drugstore, and I also really like the Loreal Infallible 24-Hour Fresh Wear. This was my favorite for a very long time. I think this one came out before the Wet n Wild one, and I absolutely loved it. It smells really good. It leaves a beautiful natural finish to the skin. It doesn't settle into your fine lines. It makes your skin look plump and hydrated, and overall it's like a Your Skin but better foundation. It has really good coverage, so this and the Wet n Wild one are definitely my top two, and then the Colourpop one I just showed you would probably be my third, and the Makeup Revolution will probably be my fourth. For those people that prefer a stick foundation, I do have here the Colourpop stick foundation as well. This is the No Filter stick foundation. This is really nice, good coverage, blends really well. With stick foundations, I don't think it soaks up as much product if you go in with a sponge versus a liquid foundation, so you probably can get better coverage out of this. I also have a Wet n Wild stick foundation as well that I like, but I don't use that one as often, but this is really good for my guys and gals out there that prefer a stick foundation. Next, let's jump into concealer. The concealer that I'm wearing on my eyes today, this is the e.l.f. Hydrating Camo Concealer. I do not have the right shade for me, so my under eyes look a little too bright for my liking. I kind of just like a concealer that matches my foundation shade, but this is really good. You literally only need like 1 or 2 dots of this and it's gonna cover your whole face. Like, it's so full coverage. I don't think that this is buildable. I think it will look cakey the more that you build it up, but it's a beautiful finish. It is slightly more hydrating than their original matte version, but I like this one a little bit more because the formula is a little bit better. You guys know my OG for quite some time was this Milani Conceal and Perfect concealer. This does have like a peach tone, so it's really going to cancel out those blue hues in your skin if you have under eye dark circles or just hyperpigmentation in general. I really like that. That is full coverage and it blends like a dream, and you can build it up and it doesn't settle into your fine lines. For those of you who don't like a doe foot applicator, I also have here the NYX Born to Glow concealer. This one has almost like a sponge tip applicator right here, and you can squeeze the tube to get more product out. I do like this applicator, but I think I prefer a doe foot applicator more. But again, this is really nice if you have dry under eyes. It leaves a very hydrating finish under the eyes, and you do get really good coverage and it doesn't settle into your fine lines. And lastly, my next affordable concealer is the Colourpop Pretty Fresh Concealer. I use this one probably the most out of all my concealers. It's just like, it's really nice. It's really buildable. I would say it's medium to full coverage, blends out really nicely, covers your blemishes, doesn't settle into your fine lines. I use it a lot to set my eyelids for eyeshadow as well. So yeah, those are my top 4 favorite concealers from the drugstore. I think they perform really well, and they're almost just as good, if not better, than some high-end concealers that I've tried. Next, let's go in with some powder. You guys know I love this e.l.f. Halo Glow setting powder. This is a really nice setting powder if you want more of a natural finish to the skin. It does give a slight glow, but it's not so glowy and over the top that it's that noticeable, to be honest. It's more of just a natural finish, which I like because I don't like a powder that really overly mattifies my face. I want you to still be able to see a glow to my face after I'm done setting my powder. So I really like that for that reason, because it's so natural and it doesn't make your face feel dry or look cakey or feel heavy on the skin, and it's very finely milled. And the next powder that I really like, this is the Morphe Translucent Setting Powder. This is a really good setting powder as well. I think it kind of does the same thing that the e.l.f. setting powder does. It's more of a natural finish on the skin. These both don't leave a white cast, which is great because you know there are some powders that will leave a white cast, and if you take a picture you can see the white cast in the photo, and nobody wants that. It's not cute. And I like the way that this sets the makeup. It doesn't settle into your fine lines, and both of these products just make your skin look really smooth, which I like. If you have a lot of texture or large pores, you would appreciate that. Let's go in with bronzer now. My favorite current drugstore bronzer is this bronzer right here. This is from Milani. This is their Silky Matte Bronzer. I really like this. You guys can see it on my skin today. It's pigmented. I have the shade 01. It blends so good. It doesn't look patchy. It doesn't stick to the skin, if you know what I mean. It just overall blends really seamlessly, and it has good color pigment. So I really like that. I think it looks beautiful on my skin tone, and they do have some other shades. So if you have a deeper skin tone, I think that you could probably find a shade that works for you, but I have the lightest shade, of course, just because I am so fair. But it doesn't look muddy or like patchy or anything on my skin, which I really like. My previous favorite bronzer before that one was this one. This is the Maybelline City Bronzer in the shade 200. I believe they only have 3 shades of this, so that's the only thing I don't like about this, is I think that they should extend the shade range. But this blends really beautiful as well. It's not patchy, very pigmented, and it looks really seamless. Doesn't look muddy on the skin either. I still do use this one, but my preferred one, of course, is the Milani one. If you're looking for a bronzer that's a little bit bigger sized, this is the Makeup Revolution bronzer. This is their mega bronzer in the shade 01 Cool, and you guys can see it's huge. It's bigger than the size of my hand, like the whole palm of my hand, but this is really nice. It says it's a cool tone. I think it's more of a neutral to warm shade because it doesn't look that cool on camera, and it doesn't look that cool tone in person either. But yeah, this is a really nice bronzer. Again, very pigmented, blends very seamlessly, and it doesn't look muddy on the skin. And last for bronzer, I have this Wet n Wild Color Icon bronzer. I don't use this as much, but I did pick this up when they first came out. This is in the shade Sunset Striptease. This is also really nice for bronzing up the skin. It doesn't look muddy. It looks beautiful on the skin. I think all of these products, these bronzers, perform pretty much the same way. So yeah, these are my favorite bronzers from the drugstore. Let's jump into blush now. Blush is actually my favorite part of doing my makeup anymore. It's my favorite makeup routine part that I can't live without it. I have a few blushes here. The first blush that I have is from e.l.f. This is their Always Cheeky blush. I think these are like the primer infused ones. This one is a really nice coral color. You guys know I love coral color blushes, but these are good. They're really pigmented. They don't emphasize your texture. They're not patchy. They just blend really nice over any other makeup. So I do like that. I also really like this Vanilla Cream Truffle blush from BH Cosmetics. You can see here, these are beautiful colors. You have some nudes, you have a mauve color, and you also have like a deep berry shade down here. A lot of times what I end up doing is I'll mix this one, and this one, and I'll just mix all 3 of those and go in and apply it. I also do like that this has a mirror, so it is travel friendly if you're traveling, and you get 4 blushes for the price of like under $10. It's great, and these blushes are really pigmented. If you've ever tried a BH Cosmetics blush, you know what I'm talking about. BH Cosmetics, by far, they're my favorite blush brand for sure. The next one, you guys have seen this featured on my channel a lot. This is the Catrice X Eman palette. I really like this one because again, it's a quad palette, it has a mirror, it has 4 blushes for the price of 1, and I really like this orange shade down here, and sometimes I will mix it with this shade. This would be better for darker complexions, but I obviously can't use that shade because it would look just way too dark and muddy on my skin. And this one up here is a shimmer, so if you like a blush topper, you might like this palette, but I don't like blush toppers, so I don't use this shade. But this is also really, really nice, very pigmented. I mean, the color payoff is there, and it's so cheap. And lastly, from BH Cosmetics, we have their Glowing in Grease palette. This comes with 3 blushes and 3 highlighters. So you have a dark orange blush over here, a corally blush in the middle, and like a nude coral on the right here. And I really, really like all 3 of these. I do mix them a lot of times, and it just comes out to the perfect blush color. The highlights in here are also really good too. So if you're on the market for a cheap highlighter, BH Cosmetics has some really nice highlighters as well. Now let's move on to some highlighters. The highlighter I have on today is this Maybelline Master Chrome highlighter. It looks like this. This is the one that Nikki Tutorials did with Maybelline, and it's a really pretty white gold. It's so beautiful. I normally don't like to go in with golds for my highlighter, but if it's a white gold, I will, just because it won't leave a yellow cast on my skin. I cannot stand that, and it happens a lot with me being fair skin tone. But this is super blinding. You guys can see right here on the cheeks. It's so beautiful. Definitely hands down one of my favorite drugstore highlighters of all times. I don't know if they still sell this. I'm not sure if this was limited edition at the time that I bought it. I can't remember. But if you can get your hands on this, I definitely recommend it. It's so, so beautiful for fair skin tones. And even medium to tan, I think, could pull this off as well. Next, we have here a Wet n Wild highlighter. This is also really, really pretty. You know, these were going around. These were so popular back in the day, and they still are. They're really good. They pick up a lot of pigment and are also really blinding. Also, they don't emphasize texture, which is really, really nice, because I can't stand those highlighters that emphasize texture. You know, we all got texture. And this doesn't have any glitter in it, which is nice, along with this. I know this one kind of looks like it's a little glittery, but it's really not. And I prefer a highlighter that doesn't have a lot of glitter in it, just because when you put glitter on, you know, it falls kind of like all over your face, and I really don't like that. Another affordable highlighter that we have here, this is from Colourpop. This is from their Disney collab that they did. This is the shade Horse and Carriage, and it's a really pretty white gold. Again, just like the others, it's not glittery. It doesn't emphasize your texture. It's really, really blinding, and it goes on super buttery and smooth. For those that like a loose highlighter, I got you in this video as well. These are my favorite loose highlighters. This is the Airspun Loose Face Highlighter. This is in the shade Snow Much Ice. So it's a champagne-y pink color, but it's really light, so it doesn't leave like a weird cast on the skin or anything like that. But you can see here's the color. You can see it's just the right nice champagne color. I really like this. There is a lot of fallout though, which is typically why I do not go in with a lot of loose highlighters, because I just feel like they're too much. I feel like they get all over my face, and it's really hard to be precise with them. But this was really good. This was only $5, and yeah, it's a great affordable option if you are looking for a loose highlighter. Another loose highlighter we have here, this is from Makeup Revolution. First of all, this packaging, I love the glitter lid. It's so beautiful. This is their loose highlighter in the shade Ice Diamond. You guys can see here, it's a white, almost like a silver white, but it doesn't look white on the skin. Like if I apply it and you look at me, it doesn't just look white up here, you know what I mean? It blends really nice. It's beautiful for fair skin gals and guys out there. So if you want a loose highlighter that is meant for really, really light skin tones, I think you would love this. And lastly, this is the Wet n Wild loose highlighter. These are so popular at the drugstore. This is in the shade Written in the Stars. This was the first shade that I ever purchased. It's like a goldy champagne color. I don't even know how to describe it, but it's beautiful. What I don't like about these though is I do think they're a little glittery. So again, you will get fallout on your face if you're using a loose highlighter, but Loose highlighters I think tend to be a little bit more blinding and glowy than regular powder highlighters sometimes, but this is a really, really good option, and I think it's only like $5. Let's go in with setting spray. I only have one here, guys, because all the other setting sprays that I own are pretty much high end, and of course I'm not going to feature them in today's video, but this is the Milani Make It Last. This is definitely going to make your makeup last all day, every day. It is a mattifying setting spray, but I don't feel it overly dries out my skin or anything like that. It makes your makeup transfer proof, so it's not going to transfer onto anything that it touches, and overall I just think it makes your makeup last throughout the day. I definitely think if I didn't go in with this setting spray, my makeup would look crazy at the end of the day, but using this setting spray or just a setting spray in general, you know that at the start of your makeup, how your makeup looks versus, you know, 8-12 hours later, your makeup can sometimes look the exact same like you just applied it, so I really like this setting spray. Oh, and they come with in a jumbo version of this now, which I do plan on getting because I do want the bigger size. Let's talk mascara. My two favorite mascaras from the drugstore. I have the Colossal mascara from Maybelline. This is really, really good. And I also have the Voluminous L'Oreal Paradise mascara. I like both of these. The L'Oreal one, I think you get a better curl with because it is waterproof. The Maybelline one, I love all Maybelline products. What can I say? They make really great mascaras from the drugstore, and there are so many options to pick from. It's kind of overwhelming at times, but I really like both of these. I think they really lengthen your lashes. I think they separate your lashes. I think they give a lot of volume to the lashes. But like I said, I do think that the L'Oreal Voluminous one, I think that it does hold the curl better because it is waterproof. You don't have to get the waterproof version by any means. You can, of course, get the regular version, but sometimes I like the waterproof version just because my eyes water a lot, you know, so sometimes it's necessary that you need a waterproof mascara. For eyeliners, you guys know Colourpop. I use their eyeliners a lot in my videos. I have literally a whole little container here of their cream gel liners. You can see I pretty much have every color of the rainbow, every color you can think of. I use these products all the time. They glide in the waterline so smooth. They're really pigmented. They don't bother my eyes. The shade that I have in my waterline today is Honeydew. It's just a really, really nice nude, which I love. But yes, these are really pigmented. They do have them in a bundle, and I think the bundle's like $70 or $80 some, but you get all of these colors that I just showed you. I think it's well worth your money, especially if you're doing a lot of eyeshadow looks. It's so much fun to go in and play with, you know, colorful eyeliner. And honestly, I really don't even buy eyeliner from the drugstore because to me, it's just like these Colourpop ones. It's literally all I need to have every color I can imagine. So these are the only ones I have for this video today. I do also have in here some Vivid Neon liners from NYX. These are really good as well. So if you are on the market for a liquid liner that is colorful, NYX has a bunch of those as well. And what I like about these two, the Colourpop cream gel liners, is they don't fade throughout the day. I feel like sometimes you can put on a black or brown eyeliner and it just kind of disappears throughout the day, or it starts to kind of like come down here. I don't find that these happen with these eyeliners. They stay in place all day. Let's talk about lashes and lash glue now. So the lash glue that I have been loving, no lie guys, I did a video on this. You guys can check it out if you want to. These Kiss glue liners are legit, okay? Your lashes ain't going nowhere when you put this glue on. I'm telling you, it is literally like the strongest lash glue I've ever used in my whole life. And I did use the clear one today just because if I'm not going to put any eyeshadow on, I will use the clear one, and if I have eyeshadow on, I'll go in with the black one. But these are really, really good glue liners. I don't know, I just don't like using like a regular glue. Like this is a House of Lashes glue where you just kind of paint it on. I don't know, they just don't really work for me that well, and this product works really, really good for me. So I definitely recommend you pick these up. Like you can like see, like look, you see I'm pulling on my lashes and it's not coming off. Like they're real deal, y'all. For lashes, today I have on the Kiss 01 lashes. This is what they look like. They almost look like lash extensions, like your lashes, but better. They're very voluminous, very long and lengthy. I love Kiss lashes. They're definitely them and the next brand I'm about to show you are hands down my favorite lashes from the drugstore. I don't think you need to spend $30 for one pair of lashes at Sephora or wherever it is that you buy them from, because the drugstore has just as good lashes. Like, I don't know, I just can't get behind paying $30 for one pair of lashes. Like, to me, that's absurd. Maybe it's because like I haven't done it yet and I just haven't found a good pair that I'm like, wow, this is worth $30. I would spend this $30 on that. But no, I just think that's way too much. These are the Salon Perfect. These are the Silk Noir. I like Salon Perfect. I typically don't go in with this exact pair. Normally I go in with, what is it called? I think they're called 614s is the lash name, or like the lash style. I really like Salon Perfect too. These again with Kiss are my favorite types of lashes from the drugstore. There's such a variety. You can get long ones, you can get short ones, you can get voluminous ones, you can get individual ones. I mean, you can get magnetic ones. I mean, the list, it really goes on and on. And I also like Eyelure as well. Here's my favorite pair from Eyelure. This is the collaborated with Jasmine Brown. I really like these specific lashes because they have a very thin lash band. I don't like lashes that have a thick lash band. I think they're really hard to move. They're not as flexible. So I like that Kiss and Salon Perfect, their lash bands are super invisible and super thin, so I feel like you can maneuver the lash a little bit easier. For brows, I have a few options here. I have this brow product from e.l.f. This is their Instant Lift brow pencil. This is really good. From Colourpop, I really like their Precision brow pencil. I'm actually out of this and I just refuse to throw away the packaging because I need to get a new one. This Sephora brow pencil is really nice. This is only like $12, so I figured I would include it in here even though you can only get it at Sephora, but it is affordable. And for brow gel, I really like the e.l.f. Wow Brow. This is my favorite gel. For sure, you can by all means get a clear brow gel, but for me, I kind of like tinted brow gels. I have very sparse eyebrows, so for me a tinted brow gel will just go in and kind of clean everything up and kind of fill in the spots that I missed. What I like about these 3 eyebrow products is they're pigmented, 1. 2, I don't find them to be that waxy. I don't know, I really don't like that much of a waxy consistency. I don't know, I just feel like sometimes it could be hard to kind of evenly spread out the product. So for me, I would rather have more pigment than like that waxy coating. I think that the tips of these are, besides the e.l.f. one, this tip is a little thick. That's what I don't like about this one. But these 2, let me show you. You can see the pencils they're really thin. So I think it's easier to define your brows with a thin eyebrow pencil, and then like to fill in the brows, something like this where it's like a little bit thicker, I think is easier because you can cover more space over a shorter amount of time. But these are good. They fill in your brows. They're pigmented. You can keep building them up as much as you want. And today I used the Sephora one in my brows with the e.l.f. brow gel, and you can see my brows look pretty good. And lastly, we have the lips. Now, you guys know I really don't own a lot of lip products. I just don't buy it. I don't buy them that often. I definitely would like to buy the Colourpop lippy sticks. They have like a, what is it called? Like a vault almost, that I've been waiting months for it to come in stock, and I really would like to pick it up because Colourpop has some really, really good lip liners. But the ones that I have here, I have 2 from NYX. I think NYX lip liners are really, really good. They're so pigmented and they blend like butter along with these e.l.f. Retro Paradise pencils. I like these 3 colors. It does come with a hot pink one as well, but you know, when am I going to use the hot pink one? Probably never. And then for gloss, this is really like the only affordable gloss that I own. This is also from e.l.f. This is their Retro Paradise gloss in the color Dream On, I think, or no, Tropical Fruit Punch. I like these products because they're very pigmented and they blend really nice. I feel like with some lip pencils, you have to really push hard into your skin. And with these, you don't have to do that. You can just glide them right over your lips. They fill in your lips if you want them to fill in your lips, or you can just outline them, and pigment's there. You don't have to keep going back in over and over again, which I hate. Like, I don't want to spend that much time on my lips. I'd rather just be able to boom, boom, and out the door I can go. So I really like these lip products. I think they blend really, really well, and they're so creamy, you guys. So I like them a lot. So yeah, guys, that is it. These are my top favorite drugstore products. I know it's a lot. I do have a lot of drugstore makeup. I probably will also do a high-end version of this as well, like my favorite high-end products as well. But ultimately, you don't have to spend a lot of money to get good looking makeup. I will say at the drugstore really has some good products, and they have a lot of dupes for a lot of high-end products. But yeah, these are all of my favorite products. Let me know in the comments below if you like any of these products. Do you own them? Do you love them? Do you hate them? Do you want to buy them? Let me know. We can talk about it. And yeah, like I said, I'm wearing some of these products, one of each category on my face today, and honestly, I think my face looks pretty good. It doesn't look too dry. It doesn't look like anything settling into my fine lines. I do have some texture, you know, wearing a mask all day, every day, like at my professional job in real life. You know, we have to wear a mask for the whole shift, and you know, it's drying out my skin. I'm getting all this acne, and it's just, my face is looking a mess, but it's kind of clearing up, so it doesn't look that bad. But yeah, you guys, so that is it for this video. Again, let me know if you have any of these products. Thank you guys so much for watching. Don't forget to subscribe, hit the bell so you are notified every time I upload, and if you want to check out my social medias, they're down below, and I will see you guys in my next video. Thank you so much for watching. Bye.